guys, Tori here from Overlook Horizon. Welcome back. It is a Friday evening here on April 28th, 2023, and we're here for the Falcon Heavy launch today. This is actually kind of an interesting day, a kind of an exciting day for SpaceX. This is a double header launch. We missed the first one. We didn't cover the first one. We'll take a peek at it. You can take a look and see what happened just a few minutes ago. They already launched a Falcon 9, and now we're about 40 minutes away from them launching a Falcon Heavy. So this is an exciting doubleheader here. This is a really quick turnaround, and we have an opportunity to potentially break the fastest turnaround between two orbital launches at Cape Canaveral. So the last time, or the record was set back in the Gemini days, way back in like 1960 something, or I can't remember what the date is, but we're long time ago. We set a record. It was 92 minutes for the fastest two orbital launches from Cape Canaveral. It was like 90 something minutes that it launched. So or that we had two launches. So this could potentially break that here. We're going to be very close, and it's really going to depend on whether Falcon Heavy launches at the beginning of the window or the end of the window. So we have about a 57 minutes, just under a 1 hour launch window today. So the clock here is counting down to the opening of that window, which things are looking pretty good for launch. And especially considering they just launched a rocket a few minutes ago, that's a pretty good sign, right? They launched one. We're hoping the weather stays okay, and we can launch another one. I mean, we don't want to have
Space Lobster ate the T-Tub. That's the answer.
Right. We don't want to have any of that going on today. We don't want any weather issues. We want just a nice Falcon Heavy launch. This is a little bit different, though. A little bit of a letdown for all of SpaceX fans. If you're watching frequently, this is a fully expendable Falcon Heavy, meaning we have no landings today. None. I mean, we did on the last one. If you want a landing, you got to look at the last one. But as far as Falcon Heavy is concerned, we have 0 landings for Falcon Heavy, and that is because they need the entire performance of the vehicle to get the ViaSat communication satellite directly to geostationary orbit. So typically, when a Falcon Heavy or a Falcon 9 will launch rockets into that are intended for geostationary orbit, the rocket doesn't actually drop them off in geostationary orbit. It drops them off in what's considered geostationary transfer orbit, which is this long oval-shaped orbit where the very tippy top is the geostationary target, but it also comes way back. So Falcon rocket will drop it off in that big oval, and then when the spacecraft gets all the way out to the end, I'll show you, instead of me drawing it, I'll show you on the screen in a minute. But anyways, the spacecraft gets itself into the final orbit. Not so much the case for today. Falcon Heavy is going directly to geostationary orbit, and we need that extra performance here. So that means side core boosters, they're going away. Splashing in the ocean, no recovery. Center core, going away. Splashing in the ocean, no recovery. So there are no grid fins, there are no landing legs, none of that on board Falcon Heavy today. But it'll still be kind of cool to see. So anyways, before we get into this, I do want to say hello to everybody and check in with you. I have some fancy new tools that I haven't used before here. So hello to everybody here. We've got Victoria Taylor. Oh, that's so tiny. We're gonna have to make that a little bit bigger, I think. Victoria Taylor says hello, Victoria. Happy Friday from Cheryl. How do we make this bigger? We need to make this bigger. Can we grow? Well, hey, no. This is live editing here. I suppose there's got to be a way I can do this. I don't know if I can do this live, but I guess we'll have to live with it being teeny-tiny for now. Let's see. Happy Friday, Cheryl. Hillary says, hello, gang. Hello, Hillary. And Hisham has been he's been telling everybody to smash the like button. I appreciate the support there. Thank you very much. Let's see. Got a couple people, let's see, Odie mentioned 1965, Tori. I think that's in reference to the Agena flight where we had the current record for the fastest 2 orbital rocket launches from Cape Canaveral. Thanks for looking that up for us. Let's see, Andrew says it's been delayed already. Well, I haven't heard anything, but I wouldn't necessarily be surprised. I mean, we'll find out and we'll see. If anybody hears of that, definitely you let me know, and we'll take a look at it. Let's see. Let's check in with a couple other people. Let's see. ZFG says, I have a vested interest in this launch because the ViaSat satellite on board I'll be interacting with directly. Graham saying that all the boosters go into Davy Jones' locker. Graham, one of our amazing moderators. And of course, can't forget about, see Red Scorpion in here as well, who says hello to everyone. Another one of our fantastic moderators over on the YouTube channel. Let's see. Who else can we check in with before we go into some of the stuff that we want to talk about here? I'm just scrolling through some of the chat here, saying hello to everybody. And this is over. I can only show your chat if you're watching on the YouTube channel. I know we have people watching over on Twitch and Facebook and Twitter, but I can't show your chat on the screen. So you have to go look at the YouTube video if you want me to show your chat on the screen. Let's see. Colin wants to know, any idea if we'll see the intentional boom in the water? Probably not. They usually don't show us those expendable things. Generally, they're only going to show us the video when they're having an actual landing. So I'm not expecting to see any video of the actual splashdown. I would be shocked if they show that to us, but not expecting that today. All right, let's see. Oh, and then let's see. I just saw one go by. We got a super sticker from Razek. Razek, thank you very much for the super sticker. Appreciate the support there. Let's see. So a couple people has already said something about a delay. I don't know anything about a delay. I see no delay. Oh, I could be wrong. I do see a delay over on the SpaceX Twitter feed. So the new T0 is now 8:26 p.m. So, looks like we're going to be here for a while. So let's update the countdown clock so we don't confuse everybody. So, well, now we have some time. Welcome. We have some time to kill. Great. That's all right. I'm great at this. We can kill lots of time. No, we'll talk about what's going to happen with the launch. Of course, we'll check in with everybody. Yep. So everybody says the countdown is moved an hour and a half. Yeah, we only have a 57-minute window. So yeah, we're an hour and a half away currently. The countdown moved about an hour, basically all the way to the end of the window, 57 minutes. So yeah, new T0 is now 8:26 p.m. Eastern Time. The weather's now 70% favorable for liftoff. That is a good segue. Let's start jumping in. And where's my button? Here we go. We will jump in and let's talk about some. That wasn't supposed to happen. Go to this window. No. Okay. Well. Will you go to this one? Yep, that one works. Go to this one. Well, now it works. This is the one I was trying to go to. Okay, so this was a good segue to weather. That's what I wanted to talk about here. So, this is a little bit of an older weather forecast for the Falcon Heavy launch today. This was issued hours ago. It's already outdated, but just to give you an idea of what the progression has been throughout the day, the initial the mission execution forecast came out as probability of violating weather constraints 70%. That is 70% no-go and 30% go. Primary concerns were anvil clouds, debris clouds, and cumulus clouds. So debris cloud, kind of interesting. Never seen that one before, but I'm curious if that has something to do with the previous Falcon 9 launch. I'm not sure on that one. That one that's a new one that I have not seen before, is the debris cloud rule. I have not seen that on a forecast before. But anyway, so earlier in the day, we were 30% go, 70% no go. And now we have upped to 70% go. And SpaceX did say that it was about 50% at the beginning of the window, and it was going to go up to 70% at the end of the window, which is probably why they've pushed it all the way to the end of the launch window today. And we're now at T-minus 1 hour and 28 minutes. So, let's see. So if we look at, let's look at, why don't we look at the actual flight path here today? So this is flightclub.io, amazing map by my friend Declan, who puts all this stuff together. He's like a magician, but we're launching today. The Falcon Heavy, at least, is launching from Pad 39A at the Kennedy Space Center, one of the big, huge launch pads. This is where Crew Dragon launches from. They can also launch Falcon 9 from here, but it is the only launch pad that can launch Falcon Heavy. So this is 39A right here. This is 39B up here, which is where SLS launches from. Then we come down and we have Slick 41 and 40 that are ULA pads, and one ULA and SpaceX. So SpaceX previously has launched their rocket earlier today from down here. So we had one launch from here, one from down here. So yeah, I guess I'm assuming that's what the debris cloud is they're talking about. But somebody tell me if I'm wrong. But the debris cloud. This is Christy Girl says, debris cloud, do not launch. Did you look this up, Christy Girl? Do not launch if the flight path will carry the vehicle through a debris cloud, which is not transparent and less than 3 hours old. That's the debris cloud rule. Thank you, Christy Girl, for looking that up. So I guess I'm more curious what the definition of debris cloud is. Like, I'm assuming the debris cloud would be from the previous launch, right? There's no other debris in the area. I don't know. This is a new one for me. Let's see. So, anyways, we're launching from 39A today. We're gonna go up under powered flight. We're gonna get separation, booster separation. And our boosters are going to come down. You can see they're just in a ballistic trajectory here, just heading right out into the ocean. Let's do it this way so you can actually see the whole thing. You can see we got just a ballistic trajectory here coming out. Separation from the boosters is way over here, and then we go all the way out into the ocean down here. No boost back burn, no landing burn, nothing. It just into the water. Then we do get core stage separation right here. And the core stage, also, again, another ballistic trajectory, just a little bit farther. Into the water, way out here. Let me get my head out of the way. Way out there. So, you can see where our boosters and our center core are landing way out there. And then the second stage will continue on out into orbit, this direction. There we go. This makes a lot more sense to me. See, now I ought to look this up because I'm very I'm very interested in this debris cloud bit here. All right, so Fritz46 says, seems to mean debris broken off parts from a thunderstorm cloud. Interesting. I mean, something from a thunderstorm definitely seems more concerning to me than the previous launch. I guess that's what I'm stuck on, is I don't see how the previous launch is really that big of a concern. But Christy Girl says, looks like launch can cause cloud debris that shows up on weather. Interesting. Oh, that's a good point. This is something we ought to look up here is, Colin says, wasn't that the weather report from the first flight, though? Well, we're only looking at the weather report from the second flight right now. But that could answer that. See, now Colin's using his head here. We could answer this question right away. So why don't we look at the weather report? Yeah, no, it's, So here's the weather report from the first launch. It was just, not too long ago. Probability of violating weather constraints from the last launch, the one that actually happened, 80%. Primary concerns, cumulus clouds, surface electric fields rule, anvil clouds, and lightning. Heard of all those. No reference to debris cloud. So there we go. And we go to the next one and we see our concerns are anvil clouds. We know what those are. Cumulus clouds. We know what those are. Debris cloud. Not 100%. Still not 100% sure on that. Let's see. Here we go. So Bruce says debris cloud is a rotating cloud of dust or debris near or on the ground, often appearing beneath condensation funnel or surrounding the base of a tornado. I can see that, but I'm curious how that applies to today's launch. Similar to a dust whirl, although the latter typically refers to a circulation which contains dust but not necessarily any debris. That's the NOAA definition of a debris cloud. All right, well, so that's what I'm stuck on. We'll move on. You guys could keep looking this up, see if you can get us some more information on this, and we'll see if we can nail this down here while we've got the hour and 20 minutes to go. Let's see. Tom wants to know, will this launch fly over the UK? No, it will not. So this is going to geostationary orbit here, so it's mostly staying in this path here. You can see UK is way up here. We're heading this direction to head to geostationary orbit. So we're heading mostly in a easterly direction during launch. Not going to head up towards the UK today, unfortunately. Sorry, Tom. All right, so let's go and we'll take a look at what we're talking about for geostationary orbit. We'll look at our fancy little satellite map here, and let's see which ones do we want to highlight. This is a new map for me, so I want to highlight. Can I find? I wanted to find, nope, I didn't find it. Search for, I don't know how to find these things. Well, I lost my stuff in space map, and that was much easier to navigate than this. I don't know how to search for satellite that I want. Beams? No, we don't need beams. Don't need those. Auto refresh. Filters. Perigee. Let's look up. What's our We want our minimum perigee to be 35,000 kilometers. That sound about right? Minimum. I don't know what. Perigee greater than 35,000. No. That doesn't give me anything. I don't know how to use this map. I'm sorry, this is a riveting show that I'm putting on right now. This is just fantastic. I thought it would be a lot easier than this. This is our map of all the satellites and debris that are surrounding the planet right now, but I just don't know how to search for things, which is driving me crazy. Period. Minimum 24-hour period. Maximum. We'll go, let's see, 23 to 25 hours. Does that give us any result? No, nothing. All right, well. Okay, we'll scrap this idea. So much for that. Let's. This is going very well today. All right, well. All right, we'll talk about some weather here. We'll continue to talk about the weather. We do have that debris cloud concern, but the main concern really is going to be our thunderstorms that are potentially in the area here, right? So we've got cloud cover in the area. Let's take a look at our radar. We do have some storms that are south of Cape Canaveral here. If we're going to fast forward a little bit and we go to like the 8 o'clock hour, they are pushing out to sea right there. Push forward a little further to the 9 o'clock hour, though, you can see we're starting to get some pop-ups of little bit of precipitation and activity. Now, keep in mind, in order for this rocket to launch, we just need a small hole, right? It needs to be like a 5-mile hole to just pop up through, get above the weather, and head on out, right? So if these cloud, right, we're heading in an easterly direction here, so, right, this potentially could be a concern, but as long as they get far enough away and they're outside of that window where the vehicle can climb up and over those clouds, and we don't have, I mean, this is kind of a, this could be kind of towering here, right? This is a, we've got some lightning in the area. It's a pretty significant thunderstorm cell right there. So those clouds could tower pretty high, but of course the Falcon Heavy is going to go a lot higher. It's just a question of, can we get up? Can we get over that? Can we get high enough where we're safe enough away and make sure that's out of the way? So that's kind of the concern. We can't fly through those anvil clouds, which can extend way, way up into the atmosphere, and those cumulus clouds. So we don't want to go through any of that stuff. It looks like they're going to push out far enough away, but that'll be one of the concerns that they're watching there. So that's what we're looking at weather-wise. All right, let's talk about the actual vehicle itself and the mission here for today. So I did mention that it is a fully expendable Falcon 9 or Falcon Heavy launch today. No booster recoveries, no center core recovery
Space
at all.
Labs at the T-Tab. That's the answer.
Right. And so we've got our normal countdown here. We haven't really started much of that yet. So we do have our events list here. We're going to get a weather briefing in about 15 minutes. We'll get the go, no go poll. It's going to happen about T-minus 53 minutes. We'll get a go, no go poll to decide whether they're going to fuel the vehicle. And that's really when we're going to know if we're going to launch today. So then we'll start propellant loading. Remember, we've got three cores to load. We've got the center core and the side cores that we have to load with rocket grade kerosene and liquid oxygen. We'll get our launch. We've got after launch, we got max Q. We'll get our side booster cutoff. Side boosters are not going to land, so we don't get any sort of boost back burn, no entry burn, no landing burn, none of that. And then we're going to get second stage cutoff. So we're going to look something like this. We'll come up here, we'll get side core separation, then we'll get center core separation, second stage will go off, fairing separation, And then what this doesn't actually show, so then it mentions payload separation out here. That doesn't happen for like 4 hours after launch. So I'm probably not going to stick around for payload separation. But we will see we'll see the second stage cut off, and then about half an hour after launch, it will reignite again and do another burn. And this is why it's completely expendable, because we have to save some of that propellant for those next burns that happen later in the mission. So typically, right? Typically when we go to orbit, this second stage cutoff that happens, they don't even mention it here. So second stage cutoff typically on the Falcon Heavy happens at about 12 minutes. So the second stage kind of burns for quite a while. But today it's cutting off at 8 minutes. And also the side core and the center core are burning for longer. So that second stage has a much shorter burn than typical, the first initial burn. And that's to save that propellant so that it can do those burns later on in the mission and get it into geostationary orbit. So that's what we got. So we'll do all of that about 29 minutes after launch. We get the second stage is going to start up. It's going to go for about 2 minutes, and then it's going to stop. And then that's probably where we're going to end the stream, because then the next event is going to be at about 4 hours and 22 minutes after launch, and that's when they do another burn. And then shortly after that other burn, about 9 minutes after that other burn stops, then we get deployment. So that's kind of the final burn that happens to put it into geostationary orbit, right? So you get the first burn puts it into orbit, parking orbit. Second burn is putting it into that elliptical geostationary transfer orbit. And then once the vehicle gets all the way out to geostationary orbit, it burns again to circularize, and now it stays in geostationary orbit. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some Kerbal going and we can demonstrate this. Let's see. John Wilson wants to know, any chance of a jellyfish effect tonight? So what John's referring to, the jellyfish effect, is really when the Falcon 9 or Falcon Heavy launches and it's really close to sunrise or really close to sunset. As it gets into the upper atmosphere, you still have daylight way up there, but it's darkness on the ground. And as the exhaust plume expands in that upper atmosphere and gets hit by the sunlight that's still shining up there, it creates this, looks like a jellyfish in the sky. Freaks people out. People call the police and they report UFO sightings and everything else because it looks crazy in the sky. But it's really cool. And I would say if it had launched at the opening of the window, which is in 15 minutes, I would have said no. But because it's launching at the end of the window, which is at 8:30, we got to be getting close to jelly time. What time is sunset in Cape Canaveral? Is 7:56. So this launch is about half an hour after sunset. I would say, John, that there could be a good chance of some jellies in the air today. The jelly might be flying today. I think there's a good chance of it. I like our chances. Thanks for the question, John. Let's see. A couple people asking about Starship. Shvam wants to know, why did the Starship prototype rocket blow up? Do you know how and why? Yeah, so SpaceX confirmed after the launch that it was the flight termination system that ultimately destroyed the rocket. So, why did it blow up is because it was designed to. Because once it goes out of tolerance for navigation or safety purposes, there is an automated flight termination system, right? It's not like the old days where we used to have a range safety officer and they just had the destruct button that would send a radio command to the vehicle, and then it would go. The SpaceX has used automated flight termination systems. So it's an onboard termination system that's supposed to terminate the rocket if it meets certain parameters or doesn't meet certain parameters. And so, ultimately it was the automated flight termination system that made the rocket. As for why that happened, I mean, ultimately what we had was we had a number of engines go out on the Super Heavy booster, right? The engines did not shut down, and we did not have separation. I don't know the exact timing of how that was supposed to work, right? So SpaceX is using something kind of unique with the Starship in that they're trying to avoid having active hydraulic pushers to separate the first and second stage. So they want to do this kind of flip maneuver where they spin it, kind of like they do with the Starlink satellites, and they spin the vehicle and use centripetal force to kind of fling it off into the distance. And that's how they want to separate Starship. It sounds crazy, but that's the idea. It eliminates having to put it on extra hardware. So the question really is, why did Starship not separate? There's all kinds of theories out there. I think we'll find out the ultimate answer. Was it a hydraulic issue? We've heard reports that maybe the hydraulic power unit went kaput during the launch. Maybe got hit by concrete debris from stage 0 there, the launch pad. I've also heard the theory that because the engines went out, that it was pushing so hard in kind of a wrong direction, we'll say, that it couldn't separate, or that it bound up or something like that. I don't know if there's any weight to that, but anyways, ultimately the Starship didn't separate, and the Super Heavy booster was trying to do its boost back burn, but it's got this big elephant on its back, the second stage, that just won't go away, and started losing altitude, and all of a sudden it's not where it's supposed to be, and automated flight termination system. So yeah, that's about all we know. I hope that answers something that you asked. All right, let's see what else we've got here. We'll check in with a couple people. I missed some comments here. Yeah, TP Seeker says, can a debris cloud also be bugs, birds, bats? I mean, I suppose so. I don't think that's what our concern is here for this particular launch. Shouldn't a debris cloud be part of getting a pilot's license? You would think so. But yeah, they don't really cover debris clouds so much. We talk about, not flying through like volcanic ash. Like that was probably no good. But yeah, especially for like single piston engine and airplane pilots like me, we don't really talk about debris clouds a whole lot. It's more of just kind of an overview, like just stay away from the bad stuff. So, all right, well, let's jump over, let's give some of the Facebook people some love here. I can't put your comments up on the screen like I can for the YouTube, but we'll check in with some other people here before we move on. Actually, you know what we'll do? I don't know if this will work. Let's see. We might have to close. Might need to close some things. Make sure that my computer doesn't explode. Oh! We don't want that. It's Premiere Pro. Gotta get rid of that. All right. I wanted to open up I'm gonna get Kerbal running in the background. We can do a simulation of some of this stuff here, if we have time. Anyways, let's give the Facebook people some love while we're waiting on Kerbal to load up. Frank Kirby says, I wish humans could go back to the moon sooner than later. It's going to be a very exciting time when it happens. I agree. That is going to be super exciting. I can't wait. Leave that out of the way for now. William is in Florida, hoping to see the launch. This would be a great day to go to Florida for a launch. You get the double header here, so we already had one, which we can look at. Why don't we look at... We can do that too, and we'll see. Because actually the other launch is still streaming and going here. If we back it all up, we can watch a little bit of a replay of the SES launch. This happened a little while ago. Yeah, no sound. So this is not.
We have launch directors go for launch. All systems are go for launch of Falcon 9 with the O3B M-Power payload.
T-minus 30 seconds.
So this is not the launch that we're here to watch primarily, but this is a replay, the launch that just happened
9,
like an hour ago.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
in case you missed it.
3, 2, 1, ignition, engine full power, and go. Falcon 9 and SES O3B M-Power.
You can get a lot of. They need to turn the pad mics up a little bit.
Propulsion is nominal.
I'm at max volume here. Nothing.
Vehicle's pitching down range.
Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off of Pad 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, carrying the O3B M-Power payload. During ascent, we tilt the engines, technically called gimbling, and this turns the rocket horizontally in what we call a gravity turn.
Supersonic.
You heard that call out that the vehicle is now supersonic, and we will be throttling the engines down in preparation for max Q, or maximum aerodynamic pressure.
So I'm going to turn this down here while we watch this replay, and we'll answer a couple more questions. What is Digifix wants to know, anybody here if Hayabusa landed on the moon, or is it lost? So that is the Japanese robotic lander that was supposed to land on the moon, and oh no, this is not. Yeah.
In order to avoid being pulled back down to Earth, you heard the call out that MVAC engine shell.
This is the one we're talking about, right? Is it Hayabusa? Was that the name of it?
3 events coming up in quick succession, which is main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second.
But or was it Hayabusa? Anyways, the Japanese lander. Pretty sure that was the name of it, right? That attempted to land the other day is presumed lost. So I think the leading theory that I heard was that it ran out of fuel just slightly above the surface and ended up hitting too hard. Something like, I think somebody said it hit somewhere around like 50 miles per hour. So it wasn't like crazy fast, but too fast to survive. Not a nice, gentle touchdown. So. Let's see. Why are you watching a replay? Well, because we're not ready for Falcon Heavy yet. So we're still waiting on Falcon Heavy. It's still 59 minutes away. So we're just taking a look at the SES launch that was about an hour ago. This was an hour ago. This is a replay from... remember, we got a doubleheader launch here today for SpaceX. We had a launch that was like an hour-ish ago. That was this launch. That's the one we're watching here right now. And then we got Falcon Heavy coming up. Falcon Heavy was pushed to the end of the window. We still got an hour to go. The end of the window. There you go. Hokuto. That's the name of it. Not Hayabusa. Hayabusa was a different one. I knew that sounded wrong. Hokuto. Hakuto? Hakuda.
These fairing halves again today once they fall back down to Earth using our recovery vessel Bob. It's T plus 3 minutes and 50 seconds here into today's mission, and we are in the first of 2 planned MVAC burns for satellite deployment.
Acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
In about 2.5 minutes here at T plus 6 minutes and 30.
Yeah, that's the one we're talking about. Hakuto R mission number 1. Not Hayabusa. Hayabusa was an older mission, long time ago. But yeah, the Hakuto mission is one we're talking about that attempted a landing a couple days ago, 3 days ago, and is presumed lost. Oh, and here we go, Mike. Mike Awesome sent over a super chat. Thank you very much, Mike Awesome. That is very generous of you, but he says, double happy, not birthday. Mike is always good for throwing in a happy not birthday message on the stream, so thank you, Mike. I think, thank you. We'll just leave it at that. Appreciate that. Thank you for the double happy not birthday. It is not my birthday. Although we're getting very close. Very, very close. One of these days you'll get it right. Thanks, Mike Awesome. Let's see.
And this will actually cause the vehicle to fly down through the plume, which will deposit some of that soot back onto Falcon 9.
All right, so we'll keep watching. I was going to take this off, but we'll keep it on. We'll go all the way to landing here on the replay. This is the replay from the mission about a little over an hour ago.
Beautiful views from the first and second stage. Again, that second stage is in the first of 3 planned burns, carrying our 2.
And again, we're waiting here on Falcon Heavy. Falcon Heavy is now scheduled for 56 minutes from now. We should have had a weather briefing that would have happened just a couple of minutes ago. We are now waiting to hear if we get a go for propellant loading, which would happen in about 3 minutes. That'll be the big indicator whether we're going to see a Falcon Heavy launch today.
On the bottom left and right hand side of
and again, keep in mind, Falcon Heavy today is fully expendable. Got no landings happening.
First stage is about to start its entry burn.
But we're getting closer. 3 minutes to go, and then we'll find out if we're going to be go for propellant loading. We should find out pretty quickly after that. And we'll see if we we're gonna get a launch today. Mike, you're killing me. Mike Awesome. Double means 2. So he sent over 2 super chats. So happy not birthday again. Thank you, Mike Awesome. You're double awesome. Double Mike awesome. Thank you for that. I don't know how the birthday thing got started, but yeah, whatever.
Lobster Fest is on.
I like it. I'm good with it. Let's see. Aviator Jack, is there no booster landing? You are correct, Aviator Jack. There is no booster landing. Today we will be fully expendable. They need all the performance they can get out of the Falcon Heavy, so none of the boosters are going to be recovered. No side cores, no center core, all going to be fully expended. So if we actually look and we go over and, well, actually I don't want to leave yet because we got a booster landing coming up. But yes, there is no booster landing. I'm sorry to report. It'll still be awesome to watch a Falcon Heavy launch, but we will not see any booster landings.
There was confirmation.
Oh, cram.
Cut off.
Where's the bobblehead? God, I gotta bring it down here. It's in my office upstairs. It's not on this floor.
There is the
I need to remember to bring the ball. I have not shown the. Have I shown the bobblehead on stream yet? I don't know if I've shown the bobblehead on stream. So in case nobody knows what they're talking about, the moderators here on the channel banded together and mailed me, unbeknownst to me, mailed me a bobblehead of myself. So I have a bobblehead Tori. A beautiful picture of this landing here. I got a bobblehead Tori. It's upstairs. I need to show it on stream. And we'll have to show that to everybody.
SpaceX's 188th recovery of an orbital class rocket, including
Let's see. This is a good question from Schloss Ritter. Will there ever be an Overlook Horizon balloon launch and recovery again? Yes, there will be. I don't know if we'll have one this year, but at a minimum, I am planning to attempt one during the 2024 solar eclipse. That is in my plans at the moment. Hopefully we can keep that going, but yes, so in case you're not aware, we have a solar eclipse coming next year, 2024, and we did a balloon launch during the last solar eclipse, and learned some things I want to do differently. And so I've been planning since the last solar eclipse that I wanted to do a balloon launch during the 2024 solar eclipse. So I'm definitely planning one then. Maybe I could do another one soon. It has been a long time since we've done an actual balloon launch, but we should do one of those.
Captain, poll is complete. We're go for propellant launch.
Nope.
A reminder on the board instructions for non-urgent no-go conditions. Brief CE or LD. Enable approval.
Hold on, we gotta kill this.
For urgent issues affecting the safety of the operation, operators shall call hold on the countdown net. Launch control abort the launch auto sequence immediately and proceed into the launch abort auto sequence. At T-minus 10 seconds, launch control will be hands off and relying on automated abort criteria for the remainder of the count.
So we are go, in case you missed the beginning of that, we are go for propellant loading, which is a good sign. That means they're really going to give it a good old try today to launch Falcon Heavy. So
Falcon Heavy tanks are venting for the start of prop load.
So we are starting propellant loading for Falcon Heavy, and that's a good sign. So we got the go ahead. They're going to start RP1 loading here in just a moment. In about a minute and 30 seconds, they'll start loading rocket grade kerosene into the Falcon Heavy. So we're moving. Things are happening now. So we got a good chance. Let's see. So hopefully now, as Emerson wants to say, 8:30. Yeah, it's about 8:30. It's a little bit before that. We're 51 minutes away, which is technically going to be 8:26 Eastern Time here in not here, but in Cape Canaveral. I'm not in Cape Canaveral, but in Cape Canaveral. 8:26 is the target liftoff time, which is in about 50 minutes from now, which you can see way up in the top left corner of your screen there. Let's see. Naomi, what kind of satellite is ViaSat launching? So there are 3 satellites on board here, 3 primary missions. We got the ViaSat satellite, which is one of 3 communication satellites going to geostationary orbit. So the idea is it's covering broadband access for the entire world. So that is the primary mission. There is also a mission called Arcturus, and that is going to supply internet specifically just for Alaska. And then there is what is the other one called here? I forget now. The other
launch auto sequence has started.
But the other one, they're all communication satellites today. Can't remember the name of the other one, and I can't find it now. But all primarily communication satellites that are being launched today, which is a pretty typical thing to do. I mean, we really get. I mean, communication satellite is pretty generic for just about. I mean, any satellite is communications, really, isn't it? But yeah, this is not. It's not like a GPS. It's not a military satellite. It's a commercial broadband communication satellite. Let's see. Aviator Jack, another good question. Do you know when there will be any other Falcon Heavy launches? Yes, we have at least 2 more planned for this year. So there is another Falcon Heavy planned in June of this year, towards the end of June. I think it's like June 23rd. And then we have another Falcon Heavy planned for the beginning of October of this year. So there are at least 2 more Falcon Heavies planned for this year. So that's a good question. Let's see. Brandon asking again, will all 3 cores be recovered tonight? No, I'm sorry to say that none of them, 0 of the 3 cores will be recovered tonight. This is a fully expendable launch, and it'll head out and just kind of crash into the ocean. So we can see, I started pulling up this map just for this reason here. So we can see our side boosters are going to, they're going to separate way over here early on in the launch. They'll separate here and then continue on in this ballistic trajectory like this. No boost back burn, no landing burn. They just continue on like you just threw a baseball and away it goes. And right into the water. Kablooey. Same thing with the center core. Center core is going to cut off right about here. That's going to have a much longer flight time. But that is also heading out here into the ocean and just going gablamo. So we do have interesting notes for today for our boosters. Our side boosters are actually reused. So they have actually flown before. The center core is brand new, so this will be the first and the last flight of the center core. But the side cores have been reused, so this is not. It's not like they were a total loss, like it was an entirely new vehicle built. We got some reusability out of those side cores, but this is something that is part of the Falcon Heavy program, right? As part of the Falcon Heavy program, one of the things they can offer is extra performance to send satellites directly into geostationary orbit, and that's what they're able to offer here today. Unfortunately, it means they can't recover their center core or their side boosters. Probably a little bit more expensive to do it this way, but it is a service that they can offer. Let's see. Steve wants to know, how much does it cost for a balloon launch? That's a good question. It's hard to answer that, right? So there's a lot of things that go into that. So when we launch our weather balloon flights, you've got some fixed costs, like your weather balloon, which is probably about $100. Your helium, which is getting crazy expensive. that could be, $100 to $200 for helium. And then, so that's just the balloon and the helium. You got a parachute, which is probably $50. You got some miscellaneous like string and other things like that, spends another. So you're up to probably you're probably up to $350 to $400 without anything in the box. No cameras, no nothing. So you're already at, $300 to $400. And then you got to put your stuff in the box. Now, presumably everything that's in the box is reusable, but you also have the risk that, maybe
Space Lobster ate the T-Teb. That's the answer.
Right, and maybe your balloon doesn't come back and you don't find it. So, we have a lot of stuff inside the box. We usually fly with like 3 GoPro cameras plus our tracking system, and all that stuff is probably close to $1,000. So, if we lose a payload, it's a huge bummer. So that is not something that we want to do, because there's a lot of stuff in there. That's why it's so stressful, because there's like $1,000 worth of stuff in there, so we don't want to lose it. But presumably, all that stuff is reusable, and it's really the balloon and the helium, which is probably $200 worth of stuff that you can't reuse.
Center core PY NY lock slowed has started.
There we go. Center core LOX load has started. So we're progressing along. We're in good shape. About 45 minutes to launch time here now. Let's see. What else can we... John's hitting on a sore topic. Hey, Tori, did you ever do the Lego Saturn V build? If so, I missed it. Well, John, no. It's still here in the box. I haven't even opened it yet. It's still sealed shut, and I need to build it. The problem is, I'll tell you what the problem is. I'm probably not going to build it anytime soon. The problem is I have plans to remodel the studio that I'm in right now. So one of the big issues I have is I don't have anywhere to put stuff. You can't see it, but my space station, my Lego space station that I build is right here on my desk over there, and I need to get that off of my desk so I can get my desk space back. So I need to remodel the studio. The plan is to remodel the studio. I want to get some like shelving back here in this area, and then I can display this kind of stuff. So I can build it, put it back there, and display it. Problem is I've been planning to remodel the studio for like 2 years, and that is just hasn't happened. I know. So we're working on it. It's a sore topic, as Graham says. But one of these days, I'm gonna get to it. I gotta, right? At some point. I also have like Piper Cherokee models to build. I got so many things. I guess things to do, so many things to do, and not enough time. I'll get there. All right. Let's see. Well, we loaded up Kerbal. Well, maybe we'll do this. We might end up doing this afterwards, because it looks like now. Oops. This is not the game that I wanted to choose. It looks like now we're actually progressing towards launch here. We got 41 minutes to go. Gotta switch to a different, pick the wrong game. Let's see, load state. Nope, not that one. Let's go back to the main menu. Jeannie Curry says, Jeannie's in the total eclipse zone. That's pretty awesome. I am very close to the total eclipse zone, so it's going over like Buffalo, New York. I'm in Rochester, New York, which we're kind of on the edge, but we're not like directly under the path of totality. So I want to try to go towards like the Buffalo area. Really, it's going to depend on what the weather is like. I'm going to go somewhere where the skies are clear. That's the plan. That is the plan. All right, let's see. So, what I wanted to do, I don't know. Somewhere, I think I have a Falcon Heavy model. It's not called Falcon Heavy, though, I don't think. Where is it? Enter text. Can I just search for Heavy? This one? Is this what I want? We'll see. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's the one I want. There's our Falcon Heavy. Look at that. That's beautiful. Let's bring it out to the launch pad. Deorberate. Will the Air Force recover the cores later on? I believe they used to. No, I don't think. This is from Frank Kirby over on Facebook. There's not really any plan to recover the cores at all. Generally, they're going to splash down. It's not a soft recovery, so they're probably going to splash down and explode into a million pieces. If for some reason they don't, they would open the vent ports on the booster and scuttle it and basically let it sink. Why can I? There we go. Get this out of the way. There we go. There's our Falcon Heavy. Let's see. Odie says, oh! God. That scared me. I jumped. What was that? What blew up? Something blew up, and I have no idea what. Well, we're off to a good start. Stay there. Be calm. Odie says, Tori, paint the shelving your green screen color for a super cool visual effect. Yes, well, that's part of the problem. So I do, in case you're not aware, if you have, oh, I didn't mean to click on this, but we'll say hi to Foxy Paws anyways. Foxy Paws has been a long time channel supporter, been around for a long time, and Foxy Paws has arrived. I was trying to just clear the other one, but we'll say hello to Foxy Paws anyways. What was I saying? Oh, the green screen thing. So, yeah, in case you're not aware, there is a green screen behind me. That's why you see nothing here. And, yeah, there is a bit of trickery going on so that when I switch over to, like, things like this, and now you can't see the green screen anymore. You know, we want to be able to have a couple different views, a couple different camera views. I do have multiple cameras here. We just don't use them for the live stream. So I'm going to get a couple different camera views, maybe one that has the green screen and one that has the regular background like this. We got a little bit of trickery going on, so maybe we could do without that. But yeah, that's part of the reason why I haven't started the studio remodel, is because I don't really know what I want to do yet. Getting there. All right, so we're getting kind of far away from the Falcon Heavy bit, but that's all right. We still got lots of time here before Falcon Heavy starts. SpaceX is not going to go live yet for another 25 minutes, it looks like. So we got a little bit of time. Let's see. Steve says, put a green shirt on. I didn't have a green shirt on today. See, I put this on specially just for you guys today. But I wore like a blue shirt today that was like teal kind of color. And that would have been a cool vibe, because I tried to wear that on the stream. And when I turned the camera on, I was like partially see-through. That didn't really work out so well. You can't wear a green shirt, or even a shirt that's close to green. That doesn't work. All right. Let's launch this thing. Let's see if we can make this happen here. Let's see. We'll throttle up. What do we got here? We got all sorts of goodies and toys. We don't need all of these. We'll turn some of these things off. We just want... No, we don't want this to float. We can even get a little bit of ascent guidance here. We'll get a little assistant. We'll do a little bit of cheating with some MicroGEO.
Stage 2 RP1 load has started.
There we go. Stage 2, they're loading rocket grade kerosene. In good state, good shape. All right, let's Go. Let's see. Orbital pitch. Yep. Okay. Engage autopilot. Here we go. Let's poll the crew. Space Lobster Nation, give me a go, no go for Space Lobster Heavy launch. And then we'll launch it here. We'll get our throttle up. There we go. They're all coming in. Christy Girl says go. Gerd Shark says go. Bruce says go. Managard says go. We're ready. Justin's in. Tom is in. Bruce is in. Cram. Send it already! Alright. Let's go! Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And we're off. Fritz, you're too late. We sent it. Falcon Heavy's cleared the tower. We're into the pitch program here. Currently throttling down in preparation for max Q. Trajectory is nominal. All systems are nominal for Falcon Heavy, or nominal. Throttling back up as we pass through max Q. Why KSP1 instead of KSP2? I don't have KSP2 yet, actually. I should get it. I don't have it yet. Haven't had time to even think about that. The exhaust plume spreading way out. Oh, we're getting a little bit of heating. Getting some heating. Oh boy. Easy does it. That's not good. Looks like she's getting a little bit hot. Take it easy. Oh. And shut down. All right. So we have shutdown. This is a little bit better performance here. Let's separate. We'll separate the side core. And we should probably separate the center core as well. And get rid of the fairing. There we go. We don't need those anymore. Probably should have gone to a higher altitude, I suppose, so we could use some of that performance. Why is it spicy? It was going a little bit too fast through the lower part of the atmosphere. We should have arced it higher to get up out of the atmosphere. We targeted an altitude that was a little bit too low. There we go. Now we're getting our circularization burn. We got to bring up, so what's happening right now is we're bringing up our perigee here. So we've got our apogee. Right now, if we don't do anything, we're going to crash back into the Earth. We're bringing that perigee up. You can see here it is on the other side of the planet coming up. we go. Now we're in a parking orbit. And we're good. So, now the interesting thing would be, what's, what is a geostationary orbit in Kerbal land? Kirby synchronous equatorial orbit is a roughly we're talking let's see, what is the altitude of this? What's geostationary? 28 circular equatorial orbit of 2868.75. So let's see if we can transfer. Let's see. We'll do a little bit of cheating in the interest of time. Use our maneuver planner to change our apogee to 2868 kilometers at the next perigee. Create and execute. Okay, so basically what's happening here now is we're currently in the blue orbit, which is our parking orbit. This is what Falcon Heavy would initially get to when we get second stage cutoff. Then it's going to coast for a long time. This is the first 30 minutes. We would coast to this other node here, and then we go into this transfer orbit, which is this big elliptical orbit here. We're gonna do that here. We gotta, let's see, let's warp to it. Fast forward in time. There we go. Coming up on our burn in 15 seconds here. So we're in the blue orbit. We're in the blue orbit. We're going to the yellow orbit. So you'll watch here. We're at this side of the planet over here. We're burning our engines. You're going to see this. The apogee here is going to grow. It's going to come up here to meet the orange line. That's the plan here. So we do this little bit of a burn. That's how our orbit grows. So this is what we're gonna get at about the 29-minute mark, 29-minute mark of the Falcon Heavy launch today, is we're gonna get this burn. Then we get a long coast phase. And what we have to do now is, so now we've got this elliptical orbit. Now we have to do this long coast phase, which for the Falcon Heavy today is going to be about 4 hours long. We're going to create and execute a node here, so we'll do this long coast phase. We'll do a little bit of fast forwarding here. This is going to be 4.5. Wouldn't it be nice if we could just fast forward in real life? But we're going to fast forward out here, all the way out this direction. Fast forward. Keep going, keep going.
Pogo.
Eventually, what's happening here now? Are we rotating here? Why won't it let me fast forward? There we go. Fast forward. All right, so now we're going to execute the next node. So now we're at the top of the blue arc here. And we're going to burn again. This is what's going to happen at about 4 hours. after launch today to circularize it into this orange orbit, and that's your geostationary orbit right there. So we'll get that execution here. Coming up here in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. 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 Uh-oh.
Space Lobster ate the T-Teb. That's the answer.
What is happening? Oh boy. Kerbal, Space Lobster Control, we have a problem. I don't know what's happening. Turn the RCS thrusters on. It won't let me turn the RCS thrusters on. I think... because we have no control node? I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening. It's been a while since I've given this a shot here. Let's see, abort node execution. Can I just manually... no, I can't even control it. I can't control it! Well, you get the idea. So we would have gone from the blue orbit to the orange orbit. That's the, that would have been the, ideal solution there, but, yeah. That's the plan for today's launch. Anyways, alright, well, let's see what everybody else is saying here. Let's go back a little bit here. Got a couple super chats here that came in. Thetis Legacy. Thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. And let's see. We also got SC Edge 77 with a super chat here. Thank you very much. Said, when is the next Starship test launch or Artemis 2? Yes, next Starship test launch, we don't really know the answer to. Elon said that it could, he said 1 to 2 months. I don't know, that seems really optimistic to me. I seem to think that we're probably no earlier than 3 months away. And even that would shock me. My timeline, and I have no idea about any of this, I would say 3 to 7 months. That seems more realistic to me. But Elon says 1 to 2 months. I don't know about that. We'll see. As far as Artemis 2, currently planned for November 2024 for Artemis 2. So we have, not this November, but the November after that. We've got like a year and a half until we get to Artemis 2. It's not really that far away, but I have heard rumors that there's a chance that it could be delayed till 2025. But yes, right now it's still on the schedule for November 2024. So there, I hope that answers your question. Thank you very much for the super chat. Let's see. Oh yeah, Foxy Paws says should be soon enough, I'd imagine, given SpaceX and how many prototypes they have close to ready. This is for the next Starship launch. But Fritz makes a good point, which is they need to rebuild the pad. They do need to rebuild the pad. They're also going to need to do their anomaly investigation. I've seen so many things on Twitter and published in news publications recently about how the Starship has been grounded. Yeah,
Stage 2 RP1 load is complete.
There you go, RP1 load complete. It's rocket grade kerosene on stage 2 for Falcon Heavy. So yeah, what has Starship been grounded? I mean, technically, yes, but that happened. That's not anything like extra that would that's happening because of Starship. Like the insinuation that was made was that it was grounded because like they were like negligent or something. That was like the that was the insinuation. That's not the case. SpaceX is going live here. So it's not anything extra. They are technically grounded, but that would happen with any anomaly. They have to investigate and see what went wrong and make sure they try to mitigate that in the future. The FAA is not going to give them another launch license if they don't figure out what went wrong on the last one. Like, that's what they're going to do. It also, some of the news articles also said, like, oh, the FAA is investigating SpaceX. That's also not how it works. SpaceX does the anomaly investigation. The FAA is going to look through the results that SpaceX comes up with, but SpaceX does the investigation. So it's not like there was this, I don't know. I just didn't like the insinuation that, like, the FAA has, like, clamped down on SpaceX and said, I don't know. That's not really what happened. There was an anomaly. SpaceX has to investigate what went wrong, why it went wrong, attempt to fix it so that it doesn't go wrong again, and then submit that to the FAA. The FAA will review it, and they'll either go like, all right, yeah, we think that might work, or they're going to go, no, we don't think that's going to work. You got to do better. So that's how that works. So as far as if you've seen some of the headlines about SpaceX or Starship has been grounded, I mean, yeah, technically that is true, but it's not as, like, ominous as the headline makes it sound. That's a pretty normal, routine thing when a rocket doesn't work perfectly. They need to investigate why. Anyways. Let's see. Are there people inside it? For Falcon Heavy today? No people. This is a communication satellite that's launching today. Let's see. What else do we miss? Hopefully, Big Papa. Hopefully SpaceX's launch goes more smoothly. Yeah, well, mine, I thought mine went great.
It's gonna deorbit.
Right, it's gonna deorbit and we'll be fine. Everything is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Let's see, John says, seems realistic to say 3 to 4 months. The entire launch pad needs a lot of project fixes, and they need to fix some concerns from the FAA before any launch attempt. Yeah, so, I mean, for the most part, like, where FAA's involvement is in this is public safety, like safety to people and property primarily, but then there's also like an environmental aspect to it as well. Like, there is an environmental impact that they have to review, and so what the FAA is going to do as part of this investigation is figure out, like, did the analysis that SpaceX did before the launch had a safety corridor that said, like, no debris is going to go outside of this area. No, this is what we think is going to happen. If something goes wrong, this is, blah, blah, blah. The whole safety plan, right? And so they need to review whether those parameters that they put in place were actually sufficient. I mean, for the most part, if the safety parameters were good, right? If we had a good enough safety buffer for people and property, and there was no danger to the general public, that's kind of what was expected. Like, nobody should really be shocked, including the FAA, that the thing blew up. I mean, some of the things that they might be shocked about, though, is how far big chunks of concrete went. That was kind of surprising. There is this concern about, like, debris that rained down on neighboring towns. That's still kind of questionable about what that was. I mean, no question that I've seen pictures of like sand particles, but that's also, I don't know, it's generally unlikely that sand would travel that far, but clearly it did. So there's the question of that. Was it dangerous? All that kind of thing. So anyways. All right, let's see. Yeah, Steve says, I'm no rocket scientist, but even I knew they needed a flame diverter. I think a lot of people question whether, a lot of people raise the question about a flame diverter, but SpaceX seemed to have it pretty well accounted for. We did have, don't forget, we had a static fire of the Super Heavy booster. Turns out it was only at half thrust, wasn't at full thrust, but there was a static fire, and the concrete did fine. Like, they survived just fine. But yeah, it turns out that at full thrust we had a different problem. So, hey, there's my buddy TJ Cooney from I Need More Space. What's up, nerd? Let's do this. Are you calling me a nerd? Listen, I have nothing to say in defense. Okay. Welcome. That's all I can say. Let's see. We should be getting... Oh, all right. Here we are. SpaceX is live. Let's turn up the volume. Let's listen in. I got to sync up the clock. We're about a little more than 10 seconds off. I'll sync this up. And let's launch this.
Just under 5 hours long. Now at T-minus 13 minutes and 30 seconds, all systems are currently a go for an on-time liftoff. The vehicle is nearly fully loaded with propellant. The range is green and ready to support. Now, if for some reason we do not launch today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow at the same time. Now, at just about 13 minutes and 10 seconds until launch, let's take a closer look at the Falcon Heavy vehicle on your screen.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jessie Anderson, a production and engineering manager here at SpaceX. Falcon Heavy is essentially 3 Falcon 9 rockets strapped together, which means it can carry much larger payloads. Like the Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy is a 2-stage launch vehicle. The big difference is that the Falcon Heavy first stage is comprised of 3 cores, while Falcon 9 only has 1. Falcon Heavy has 28 engines total. Each one of these boosters has 9 Merlin 1D engines, making for a total of 27 engines across all 3 boosters, and you can see that there on your screen. The 28th engine is a Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage and will power the payload to its final targeted orbit. Altogether, the Merlin 1D engines at the base of Falcon Heavy produce 5 million pounds of thrust. That's equal to 18 747s at takeoff. The engines produce so much power that we don't run them at full thrust all at once until after liftoff. About 3 minutes into flight, the 2 side boosters will separate from the center core. Each side booster has flown before, one booster having flown twice and the other 7 times before. Upon side booster separation, the center core will keep firing for about another minute before shutting down its engines and then perform a standard stage separation from the second stage. Our center core today is flying for the first and only time, and as Atticus mentioned, we will not be attempting to recover our side boosters or center core on today's mission.
Yep, so we did have a couple of people comment here. Foxy Paws mentioned that center core looks a little bit new. The center core is new. Brand new center core. The side boosters are not new. They have flown before. You can actually see one is kind of darker than the other. But yeah, both side cores have flown before. The center core is brand new. Keep in mind the center core needs more reinforcement than a typical like Falcon 9 booster needs. So the center cores are typically built just for Falcon Heavy. That's all this is used for, is just Falcon Heavy. The side cores, though, they can be used for Falcon Heavy or be used for Falcon 9. Yeah, this center core is brand new.
Recover the fairing halves today with our recovery vessel named Doug.
As I mentioned earlier, today's launch is for our customer ViaSat. ViaSat-3 is the first of 3 satellites that will make up a brand new global constellation. And with that, here's a video further explaining our mission and our payload for today.
Oh, yep, and I got to turn that down because they got some music going on here. So we'll keep going here. I'll switch myself back over to this side of the screen here. There you go. John asked earlier if we're going to see any sky jellyfish. John says the sky looks great for jellyfish, and I happen to agree. I think the jellies might be out tonight. In case you're not familiar with what he's referring to, we got sunset on the ground, darkness on the ground, booster's going to go up in the air, rocket's going to go up in the air, still sunlight up in the air, exhaust plume will span out, and you'll get that sunlight off of the exhaust, creates this cool like jelly cloud in the air. that freaks a lot of people out. But I think we got a very, very good chance. I think it'll be good. Let's see. The Jocko wants to know, I wonder why they don't want to recover them. So the idea that this is a fully expendable Falcon Heavy vehicle. They need all the performance they can get in order to make it all the way to geostationary orbit. So this is they're basically sacrificing recovering the boosters in order to get into the geostationary orbit that they want. So yeah, no recovery here happening on it. The side core boosters, they don't have any grid fins, they don't have any landing legs. They're just going to separate, splash down in the ocean, and same thing with the center core. But again, they need that extra performance to get to geostationary orbit. Basically, they're saving the propellant that they would use for boost back burns or landing burns or entry burns. They save all that propellant and they're using it all for getting into orbits. They're running the tanks dry. They need it all, but that means we get no recovery today. Let's see. Oh, hey TJ, thanks for the super chat, TJ. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. Said sometimes I think about how long I could hold on to a rocket during launch. Yeah, I like, you're talking about like ride 'em cowboy kind of thing, like hold on to the side of it, or are you trying to like hold it down like hold down clamps? I'm curious on the, I want to know the mechanism of this. I'm picturing you like strapped to the side of it like Tom Cruise style, just like holding on to a grid fin, trying to see how long you could stay on. You know, maybe strap a parachute on and just hold on as long as you can, and then bail out when you've had enough. That's what I'm picturing. I like this. Let's see. You know, there are... Red Scorpion says, are you trying to fly? You know, there are easier ways to fly if that's what you're going for. And actually, we should talk, because I'm flying my airplane down south here in like hopefully in a week if the weather stays up. So might be in your neighborhood like next week with my airplane if you're trying to fly. I mean, we could do that a little easier and a little safer. Let's see what else how many Falcon Heavies have already launched? I don't know the exact number. What are we up to? Like 4? Somewhere in that neighborhood. Let's see. Oh, there you go. TJ's clarifying. Oh no, I'm riding that bad boy. That's right. He's strapping on, holding on to a grid fin, taking it up for as long as he can go for. I like it. Foxy Paws is giving you it's only giving you 3 seconds. I mean, it's not a lot. I would have said that you could hold out longer. Wile E. Coyote can do it. It's south of Hollywood. So, boy, this conversation's taking an interesting turn. Anyways, we are 6 minutes to launch. We're getting very close. Getting into stage 1 closeouts here now. We will hopefully, I haven't heard any weather issues so far, so I think we're in good shape. The weather was supposed to be about 70% go at the end of the launch window, which is where we are now. We are at the end of the launch window. If they do have to scrub, that's it for today. They'll be done for today. They'll have to move it to another day. But we're getting very close now, and we'll see if we can send it. See if we can send. Oh, somebody wants the pump up jams. We need the pump up music. Where is my? I can't remember. Hold on, I gotta find it. I lost it. Where is it? There it is. I found it. Let's get our pump up jams going here. We're getting ready to go. right, under 5 minutes here. Power's transitioning. The vehicle's transitioning to internal power here now. We're getting ready to launch. We got a lot of condensation happening on the outside of the vehicle. This is perfectly normal. You get that super cold rocket-grade kerosene and liquid oxygen coming into the warm Florida air, coming into contact with that cold side of the rocket. That means we get a little bit of condensation forming. We also do have some venting that's happening as well. All that perfectly normal. Let's see. All right, we're counting down. We're coming under 4 minutes here now. We'll see some final venting happening. We can see the strong back clamp opening up there at the top, right underneath the payload fairing there. And then the strong back will retract here in just a second. You'll see it start to do the lean back. Somebody did say some lightning was visible way to the south of the launch pad. There are some storms to the south. That was one of the weather concerns, was were those storms going to be out of the way, not only for the actual launch itself, but for the flight path that it's going in, because we can't fly through anvil clouds or cumulus clouds, so we have to be able to pop up. We can pop up and go over them, but we can't fly through them. So that was one of the concerns that we were looking at earlier today with the weather, but haven't heard any issues so far. So flight termination system now activated on the vehicle. This is the automated flight termination system. It is armed and ready for launch. If anything goes wrong with the vehicle, there's no range safety officer that would send like a destruct signal to the vehicle. It's an automated flight termination system that's on board the vehicle. And we're going to be fully transitioned to internal power here in just a couple of seconds. A lot of people asking why it's not recovered, why they're not recovering the boosters. Again, they need the performance, right? They need the extra performance to get to the orbit they're targeting here today.
Launch is hard, and Falcon Heavy is no
exception. Stage 2, LOX load is complete.
All right, we are 2 minutes away here. Let's poll the Space Lobster Nation. Space Lobster Nation, give me a go, no go in chat for launch. Are we going? Is this happening today? Tell the people. All right, let's go. Everybody's saying go for launch. Red Scorpions go. Curd Sharks go. Christy Girl is go. Big Papa is go. Sebastian go. Evo Prim is go. Tom is go. Hey, I can't click on them fast enough. They're going by. James Perry is go. They're going by too fast. I can't get to them all. Leah's go. Kaspira's go. Managard's go. Aiden's go. Jeremy's go. I can't. They go by too fast. I have to click on each one that I want to show on the screen. All right. We're getting there. Folk Matt. Under a minute here.
Great news there, folks.
Uh-oh. No!
As you may have heard, there was an abort just called over the nets.
Oh, no.
Just give us a few moments. We're going to check in with the team and listen to the nets, and we'll see if we can get some additional information to share.
No! Space Lobster Nation, we've had an abort called on the countdown loop. We are in an abort mode. Oh, just under a minute, 59 seconds. And we got an abort called. Well, that's a shame. They recycled the count to 15 minutes. I would say don't get your hopes up on that. This is the end of the window. The recycling the count to 15 minutes is standard procedure. They do that anytime an abort is called. For Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy, they need a minimum of 15 minutes to recycle. But I'm pretty sure we're at the end of the window, and so there is no opportunity to launch today. See a lot of venting happening. Oh, man.
If you're just joining us, you might notice that the clock is paused right now. We did just have an abort called out on the nets. We are waiting for some more information to provide an update, so we'll be sure to get that update to you as soon as we can.
Well, we got so close. So close. We were 59 seconds away. That should be it. I suppose I had it. Ah. Well. Yeah, 57-minute. As Aiden says here, it's a 57-minute window that opened at 7:29. And so that was 57 minutes ago. Was the opening of the window. So this is the end of the launch window here. Oh, man. Right at startup. Well, now we got to see why we aborted. We don't really know. Don't know the answer at the moment. Don't see anything from SpaceX yet. On the Twitter machine. There you go. Fritz hasn't figured out. Syntax error in function startup. Yep, that didn't work out here. Well, we can do a lot of speculation. Best place to do all that speculation is over on the Discord server. If you want to come chat it up with our friends over some like-minded space folks, come join the Discord server.
If you are just joining us, you will notice that the clock is stopped. We did have a abort called at T-minus 59 seconds. We're just waiting for some additional information from the teams to provide everyone with an update. The vehicle and payload remain healthy, and we will provide an update as soon as possible.
Yep, that's a good point from John. John says there's 1,000 ways that things can go wrong. There's a lot of reasons why the vehicle can abort. And there's really only one way for things to go right. So, yeah, that's why spaceflight is so hard. That's why we see a lot of scrubs and aborts and holds and delays and things like that, because everything has to be perfect. And if one thing goes wrong, we gotta abort. Scrubs are better than booms. We don't want to see the Falcon Heavy go kaboom. We want to see it be successful for its customer, but in order to do that, if something is no good, we gotta give it the old abort, unfortunately. Nathaniel wants to know, do you know how many times they can tank and detank the Falcon before having to do more refurbishment? I haven't heard of a specific limit on tanking and detanking specifically. The idea was like primary refurbishment would happen after 10 launches. But I think a lot of that is for like the engine work and plumbing and the stresses that the vehicle goes under during launch and landing. And major refurbishment is supposed to happen after every 10 launches. I don't think tanking and detanking is an overly stressful event for the vehicle. So I've not heard of any limit to that.
Again, we did call an abort at T-minus 59 seconds. The vehicle and payload remain healthy. Keep in mind the purpose of the countdown is to help us catch potential issues prior to flight. There are thousands of ways to launch a rocket, and there's only one way that it can go right.
There you go, John.
Given that, we are overly cautious on the ground, and if the team or vehicle sees anything that just looks even slightly off, they will stop the countdown. Again, the vehicle and payload are in good health, but this will end our launch attempt for today. The next launch opportunity is tomorrow at 8:26 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully you'll all join us. Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you next time.
All right. Well, I guess that is all for today. There will be no launch of the Falcon Heavy today. That's a big bummer. Should have played that when they called the abort. Well, everybody can be sad. Everybody put a sad face, F in the chat, sad face, something, to pay our respects for the abort, which will be the good thing in the long run, but sad for all of us that have been here ready and waiting for a launch. So, that's too bad. There you go, Jacob White says, the debris cloud got us. What's the debris cloud? Oh, yeah, I don't think it was the debris cloud, but let's see. If the launch is aborted, is the fuel recovered? So, yeah, a lot of it is, but there is quite a bit that is not recovered. So, you get a lot of venting that happens. A lot of it boils off and has to be vented away. So it's not like you can recover 100% of it. Some of it they could potentially recover. But yeah, a lot of it gets vented off and just goes away. Let's see, as Tom says, scrubs are better than RUDs. That is true. Definitely, it's a big bummer, but yep, just not gonna happen here. Nina says, glad to see you again tomorrow, though. Yeah, I think I think we'll be able to do this tomorrow. I don't have any major conflicts, so I think we can come back again tomorrow and try it again. Let's do this again tomorrow. Give it a shot. Let's see. How many hours until the next window? So the next window is tomorrow around 8 o'clock Eastern time. I don't know the specific launch time for tomorrow. What did they say the launch time is? It's for tomorrow's backup window. Can't recall what the backup window is. And I don't have it readily available, of course. What's the exact... Let's see, here it is. Backup window, backup window. I don't have the backup window. What time did he say? What? I can't remember. It's around 8 o'clock tomorrow. There we go. KDB, longtime channel member. Make sure you have the bobblehead tomorrow. I need to I don't have a pen. I was gonna write myself a note. I'll put it in my phone. Bring bobblehead. Bring it into the studio. We'll bring the bobblehead tomorrow so we can show it off tomorrow. Let's make sure that that we can make that happen. And we can show everybody the bobblehead. Bobblehead! Let's see. Jacob wants to know what was the cause of the issue today. We don't know. They didn't really say yet. So they were waiting for more information. They did not give us more information. So we don't know. All they've said, SpaceX tweeted out, said they're standing down from tonight's Falcon Heavy launch of ViaSat-3. The vehicle and payload remain healthy. That's all we got. That's the best information we have. They didn't give us a reason for the scrub. something happened right at startup. And, yeah, that was, we don't know exactly what. But I'm sure we'll find out soon. So no launch today. Yep, that's correct. There will be no launch. No launch, but hopefully you had lunch today. See what I did there? All right. Getting tired. It's getting to the end of the stream. How long have we been going for? We've been going for 2 hours now. Let's see. I forgot to push the on button. If they don't know the reason for the abort, how can they say the vehicle is healthy? Well, see, the thing is, they know the reason for the abort. We don't know the reason for the abort. They know it. I'm sure they know it, because something would have triggered immediately that caused the abort. So they know exactly what. I mean, maybe not exactly, but they know they know the general cause of the aborts. They just haven't shared it with us, so we don't know the reason for the abort. How many hours from now? 24 hours from now, roughly, is when the next attempt is. It's almost exactly a day from now. They didn't say the vehicle was healthy. They said the payload was healthy. Well, I'm going by what they said on Twitter. And on Twitter, they said the vehicle and the payload remain healthy. Right there. Vehicle and payload remain healthy. Standing down from tonight's Falcon Heavy launch. Vehicle and payload remain healthy. So that's what they said on the Twitter machine. Twitter said it, not me. Couple people, Foxy Paws says that a lot of people are hanging out in the voice chat on Discord. So definitely jump in, join our Discord if you want to chat more with some like-minded space folks. Foxy Paws is there. Are you going to voice chat? We'll see. David Chapman, thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate your support there. Thank you, David Chapman. Did you see the water spewing from the water tower? Is that normal? Maybe that caused the scrub, says Tyler. Actually, that is normal. It looks kind of weird, but that is very normal, especially for Launchpad 39A. The water tower at 39A, as the water suppression system gets armed and ready to go, will intentionally overflow, and there's a big stream that comes shooting out of the water tower. So that is actually completely normal. So I don't think that's the cause of the scrub at all. That's normal. That happens on every launch from 39A. Foxy Paws, maybe a weather constraint was hit. I'm not aware of a weather constraint. And generally, once you get down to like 59 seconds, it's not usually a weather constraint. But it could be. It could be if you get like a lightning strike that all of a sudden happens. Like a lightning strike could be a last-minute weather constraint that could cause an abort. But we don't know. They didn't say anything, so we're not sure. Let's see. Well, I think that's where we're gonna wrap things up. We've had enough fun here today. We've hung out for quite a while. We played around with our new chat highlighting feature here. So make sure, if you want to continue the conversation, jump in and join our Discord server. You can meet some friends, have a good time. I'll jump in there for a little while after we finish here and say hello. You can continue the conversation over on Discord as well. It's free to join. It's free. Come join us. Come join the Space Lobster Nation.
Lobster Fest is on.
Foxy Paws says, could have also been someone flying in the no-flight zone. That's true. That can cause a last-minute abort of a flight in the no-flight zone. That would be one. Graham says that it was a danger cone violation. It could, if it's a danger cone violation, the danger cone that we talked about before, yeah, that could cause it. All right, that's it. I'm gonna end it there. We've had enough fun. This was a good time. So hopefully you guys enjoyed hanging out for a little bit. It was a nice little practice run to just kind of hang out and chat for a little bit and watch a rocket go nowhere. But we'll try again tomorrow. We'll see if we can get a Falcon Heavy launch tomorrow. But that's gonna do it. That's it for me. I'm gonna end it here. Thanks for joining us. Maybe we'll talk to you more over on Discord. But I hope you enjoy the rest of the night. My name's Tori. This is Overlook Horizon. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. All right, have a good night, everybody. Goodbye.